Okay, this is episode 122 of RV Dream Makers. And in this episode, we're in Yuma, where we spent 2.5 months. And the first thing is our drone footage of all the lots that we see in Fortuna Foothills, where we stay and where a lot of people stay that come up from the north or come down from the north for the winter. And then we go over to Mexico, and there's a little bit on that. And then the prison.
Yeah, we toured the prison there in Yuma. It's a state park. It was really interesting to tour that.
And then they call it the Salad Bowl, the Winter Salad Bowl down there in Yuma and part of California, because it's just on the border there too. But there is a ton of crops there. There is onions, celery, cabbage, cauliflower, all kinds of lettuces.
Romaine, broccoli, there's everything.
Yep. And they say that they do, 40 million portions a day is what they ship out.
And they
portions.
package it right there in the field.
Yes.
Like the videos I have, they're literally putting it on a conveyor belt. It's getting the plastic on it, and it's getting packed in boxes.
And then they put these boxes on wagons that are pulled by a tractor trailer. I say wagons, but they're like two of them, and they're pulled, and they go right through they got like 4 or 5 giant cooler operations up there. They go right through it and then out the door into tractor trailers and gone.
It is fresh. It
Yep.
is packaged in the field.
All right. So we hope you enjoy this episode.
We're in Mexico, and we're in one of the pottery places. They just have pottery everywhere.
Go back over here, Michelle.
I'm afraid to turn around because I have a backpack on my back, and it's pretty tight. We got a lot of beautiful pots, and we walked through a building even.
Hello, Santa Claus. How's it going? Like, this guy's a good guy to deal with.
Yes. Almost finished today. Okay, we are at Yuma Territorial Prison today. We're going to go inside and check it out. It's a state park. Here is where the cemetery was, which is over on that hill, and it lists how all these people died. Most of them from consumption, which before the turn of the century was actually tuberculosis. And then tuberculosis, you can see they, like in 1907, started calling it tuberculosis. 1904 here. And back here in 1903, it was called consumption. August of 1904 was called consumption. But it says, when I looked it up, consumption's the same as tuberculosis. But people died of suicide, of hangings, of a lot of people died getting shot, escape attempts. I don't know what. This guy died of dropsy and ossification of liver. Obstruction of bowels was 2 or 3. Diarrhea was 1. Typhoid fever, falling rocks while excavating, a bank cave-in, struck by a rock, some heart attacks. This guy lived to be 90 years old and died in prison at 90 in 1889. But very interesting. Some of the way all these, they got a huge list there of them. So, but anyway, we're headed in here.
On December 31st, 1887.
6 prisoners
Eve in Yuma.
per cell.
Then I have a train ticket to California. I'm gonna go look for my wife and son.
Oh my. Original iron bunk beds. These bunk beds were made in October 1901. Holy mackerel, it is narrow in here. Oh gosh. This would be horrible. Cells locked at night, prisoners had daily work details. These details included rock quarry, kitchen, sewing shop, adobe yard, wood yard, and prison construction. After work and on Sunday, prisoners had time for reading, arts and crafts, education, or relaxing. Wow. This is the yard. The walls are 5 feet wide at the top, and guards would walk along them with guns.
Here's some of the prisoner statistics. The ages, ethnic backgrounds, nativity, where they were native from, education, habits, and marital status. So pretty interesting. On the prisoners that were housed here. They say the walls up there are 5 foot wide, and that's where security guards walked. And they were also 2 movies filmed here, one with John Wayne in the prison here, and one with another movie where they made this door look low for a guy so he didn't look so short, I guess, coming out of prison. Okay, they signed construction, never contemplating women prisoners, so the arrival of 29 women in over 30 years often caused lots of chaos. Lizzie Gallagher in 1878 began serving her sentence for manslaughter, but with no provision for female prisoners. She was kept in solitary confinement. After just 42 days, Lizzie was pardoned and released. 1889, Manuela Fimbres gave birth to a baby boy while serving time for accessory to murder. The baby stayed with her in the prison for 2 years when she was pardoned because of concern for the child. Guards were happy to see Manuela leave as she was a troublesome inmate, but all missed the young boy. In 1893, a separate women's ward was finally completed. Before that, women prisoners were very infrequent. The room you see here was carved out of the granite hillside by inmate labor. A woman's yard was constructed on the west end of the ward for recreation, but was destroyed when Southern Pacific Railroad built a new rail line in 1922 that operates to this day. So that was over here.
This is the dark room.
I know.
If they were bad, they would get chained up in here. And she said prisoners or guards would drop snakes and scorpions down on the prisoners. There's a ventilation hole up there. And they would drop them through there.
14 people in there.
Up to 14 people in here.
So I was just talking to one of the ladies that works here, and she said 3 weeks ago a gentleman came in and wanted to see the Mormon section, and that is his great-great-grandpa, and Lucy was his great-great-grandma, and he still owns the property in Snowflake, Arizona, where they owned land, and they actually supplied the meat to the prison from their land. But he got arrested for polygamy because some fled to Mexico, but they didn't want to flee. They wanted to stay in the area, so they stayed here and just got imprisoned. But it was when Mormons had moved here for religious freedom, but then there was a federal law against polygamy. So his great-great-grandson came in and saw his great-great-grandpa's picture on the wall. Pretty crazy.
Arizona Territorial Prison. This opened in 1876 and closed in 1909. Huh. Tuberculosis, the #1 killer. Prison had more modern anemones than most homes in Yuma, and humans resented that. Electricity, forced ventilation, sanitation, including 2 bathtubs and 3 showers, a library with 2,000 books, the most in the territory at the time, enlightened progressive administration, even a prison band. Here's actual the prison. So that's where. Oh. Interesting. Main guard tower. Surround the whole prison all the way around. There it is right there. But it used to be a lot bigger than that, and it surrounded the whole prison. This is up in the main guard tower.
So they're harvesting there, and we think they're harvesting celery.
Could you zoom in and see?
It could be, romaine. It's either celery or romaine.
I think it's celery. They're taking all the leaves off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's probably celery.
Wow.
Then it wraps it and boxes it all right there, fresh out of the field. They are very fast.
No, they're wrapping it. There's people wrapping it.
Yeah, wrap it and then, yeah.
Oh, they're using some here.
So here's some more fields. This is cauliflower, looks like. This is different than what that other field was. We're driving along 95 and they're working out in the fields.
Yeah, this one here.
With the crops. Yep, it's cauliflower. Whiteheads. Or it could be broccoli, and those are the immature stalks that they haven't picked yet. So it just said Google Lens, or gonna try to see what this crop is. We just saw them videoed celery, but this crop is actually blooming. And all along the main road, they have beehives, I guess, for it. So it'll be interesting to see what this crop is. And then here's the irrigation ditch. And they're all done up in raised rows, and then the pipes irrigate down the channels. So these are date palms. There's thousands of them. Or I don't know how many, but there's a lot.
There.
And they're all over there.
All over there.
And all over back in there. Yeah, there's a lot of them. And this is like a purple lettuce right there. Look at that. That's beautiful. It's a purple lettuce. Yeah, here's the date palms. Date palms there.
We should have stopped today. So those guys back there sitting there having lunch.
And then there's crops. And there's the truck with the fresh produce. This is a combination of purple and green of the lettuce. It's purple and
Romaine.
green.
It said romaine on this.
I don't think that.
No,
I don't know.
on that truck.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's a field of this crop, but we don't know what it is again. There's no internet out here. I'm thinking it's like an onion or something because you can see down in the ground. It's something like an onion. Hopefully Google Lens will tell me. The other Google Lens failed, but it's kind of got a bloom on it. And this whole field of them.
Okay, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you notice, it is May 6th, I think? 7th.
Our beautiful views.
And we are in Ridgeway State Park in Colorado. It's the first time we've been up here. We've been to Colorado before, but this first time up here. And we went up and visited it yesterday.
Yeah.
Black Canyon of the Gunnison, the national park that we've never visited before. And we'll have more on that because we're going to be hiking the rim and all that stuff on Saturday. But man, that gorge is incredible. I didn't realize it was such a there was such a big, long, deep gorge. It's like half a mile deep, I think, and it just runs for miles and miles and miles. So we'll have to do some video in the visitor center so you can get an idea of how big this place gorge basically is. And there's the Gunnison River running down there. But anyway, anything else? No?
Nope.
All right. Remember, God loves you, but only Jesus can save you.
See ya.